Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Look guys, I know I'm late. I have review after review after review after review, but guess what? It's a good problem. So tonight we are going to be reviewing The Real Housewives of New York, Season 13, Episode 6. Child, I got some things to say about this episode. So when the episode first opens up, the ladies are getting ready for Eboni's party, right? She's having a night in Harlem. We see Eboni getting prepped with this bag hair that came from the beauty supply. I'm like, girl, not this bagged hair. So then we see Sonia. Sonia said, if she can't walk there, then she probably doesn't go. So she's never really been to Harlem because she stays in her little bubble, right? Then we see Luann trying to decide on something. And she said she used to live near there and she would go to Sylvia's all the time. Look, the first time I went to New York, I stayed in Brooklyn. We went to Harlem and we went to Sylvia's, right? So, I'm from the South, okay? Our grandmother's got big arms and cast iron skillets on any given day. It's going down, okay? So I was thinking, this isn't the South, but maybe they'll have some good soul food. Let me tell y'all something. Sylvia's was some of the best soul food I have ever eaten. You must visit if you are ever in New York. And please visit Harlem. It's really a beautiful place. This is not sponsored, by the way, but I wish it was. Okay, Lou, I like that. You've been to Sylvia's, hanging out and whatnot. Luann be getting around, okay? Brashawn gets into the car because we're introduced to her, right? Because she gets into the car with Ramona, and her ensemble was really confusing to me. She had a dress over some pants, and I'm like, is it wintertime? I was just so confused. So they're talking in the car, and Ramona was saying how she never likes to travel outside her bubble. And she said she met Brashawn through some of her mutual friends, right? Over on the other side, we see Eboni has arrived at the party ahead of the guests, wearing a good ponytail. Okay, girl. And her girls are out to play. Her boobs showed up for Harlem. Okay, they showed up. She said, if I'm coming off of everything from their world, I was in the Hamptons, I was at Ramona's house, literally. Now it's time for them to step into my world, right? So her friend Natalie shows up, and then Leah. And Leah shocked me. Honey, she was actually dressed appropriately. Because, honey, you just never know what Leah might show up in, okay? So Sonia shows up. And when I tell y'all, I laughed so hard at the way Sonia creeped down those stairs. I was like, poor Sonia, honey. I hope she don't fall. Child, I was laughing so hard. So Sonia sees Eboni's boobs, and she's like, woo, headlights. I didn't even realize she had those. I know that's right, honey. She was like, she's always so lawyered up. The fact that she brought the girls out, it really means a lot. I just love Sonia. Baby, that's my only fun y'all getting out of Eboni tonight. I hope you know that. So Sonia and Brashawn arrive, and Ramona introduces Brashawn to Eboni. She's like, I thought you two would get along. Why? Because she's black? Honey, let me tell you something. Let me break some news to you. We don't all get along based on color, okay? I'm just saying, all of us don't like each other. Girl, that was so stupid to me. So Eboni asks to take a picture of the girls, right? But then Ramona says, I don't like this. It's like white women on one side and black on the other. Ramona, honey, this feels like you're trying to change the people's image of you. Now, in a normal setting, no one really thinks about that, right? It just happens. That's just the way that y'all was standing. Honey, act like you've been in mixed company before. But I see you trying not to get canceled and whatnot. So then they go into the dining room, and she presents them with a candle. Eboni, right? She's like, a night in Harlem with Eboni K. Williams. Baby, let me tell y'all something. Eboni loves her namesake. Eboni K. Williams will be etched in your head because she will say it each and every episode. So then she gives them a candle, right? And she said that the candle was from Harlem Candle Company. And the candle represents how they show up in the culture, right? So Leah's sis shows up. Honey, she may as well have an apple, child. She in every episode. Before the salad comes out, Eboni tells them that they will each get an influential African-American person and will learn about that person. Eboni, what in the African-American studies is happening? Girl. Oh my goodness. Listen, I'm a black woman and I would have been ready to leave this party. To me, this is just a thing. To me, Eboni missed the mark. Sometimes experiences teach. You're in a different setting. She could have introduced them to the music and the dance and the culture of Harlem, which would enlighten them without being so blatant. Or even the wonderful food of Harlem, or have the owner of the speakeasy come out and share the backstory. Child, these cards and this teach method, it's not working because they're not receiving it. Now, I understand the mission. Trust me, I understand the mission because we want all of them to understand what we face. But at the same time, it's got to be done in a way that they absorb it. That's like when you go to school and all the kids learn differently. Some learn hands-on, some learn visually, some learn verbally. Like, it's a different way you could have gone about it. Honey, I was bored. I was like, ooh, child, honey, I'm about to fall asleep. So Leah said, in her confessional, she said, I know Eboni feels a responsibility to teach them. So it's just not about fun for her. But that is just it. It's not her responsibility to teach them. If the opportunity presents itself, then fine. But not every time you see them, honey, coming with these cards. So Leah said, she isn't sure the ladies actually want a history lesson and don't. Okay, you can just tell. So then Sonia said Eboni is going to speak her speech if she don't do nothing else. So I know that's right, Sonia. And Sonia said, if you don't like it, then don't show up because she said what she said and she ain't changing it. Now, y'all know I paraphrased and zhuzhed it up for Sonia because that's my girl. So Ramona said, look, I don't mind learning, but I wish she would have given me an agenda. Cocktails, 1 hour. History class, 1 hour. Dinner, 1 hour. So you mean you wish she would have given you an itinerary? But let me tell you something. You would have definitely shown up for dinner only. Honey, I know the kind of games you're playing. So it's better that you were ambushed. So Leah said, I don't know how Eboni doesn't see this isn't going well. Honey, I don't see how she doesn't see it either. But she not seeing it. So then Brashawn pipes up. Now, I'm not too sure how I feel about Brashawn. She gave me mixed emotions in this episode. She's like, yeah, I just love that Eboni is showing our history and our culture. Okay, great, honey, agreed. But then she says, we're one nation, like this whole divided thing, like we're white women from the Upper East Side and we're black women from Harlem. I just don't like it. We're all we're all Americans from the United States of America. We're all the same. Okay, she lost me. Sis, honey, sweetheart, we are not all the same. Although Eboni lost me on her delivery, her message is not wrong, girl. We have had very different experiences. Honey, I know you are happy to be accepted, okay, by the other race. But at the same time, girl, we are not all the same. Like, girl, whatever. Our lives are not the same in the slightest. So Ramona said, I may have to leave, because I'm feeling tired. Here goes Sonia. Is it the vertigo? So then she's like, yeah, how did you know? You know me so well. Girl, hush. Lies. So then she goes on to say, Lou said, what's vertigo? Ramona said, look, I'll show you. Oh, my goodness, child. I'm not about to let Ramona worry me. Ramona will worry you to the ground, okay? I see why Mario had to get out of there. Leah said, okay, you're going to show us your vertigo? Child. So Ramona gets up and demonstrates it, honey. It looked more like a trust fall, if you ask me, than vertigo. And I suffer from vertigo. And Ramona, I ain't buying it. Girl, you ain't fooling me. So Leah and Brashawn are talking outside, right? And Leah tells her that her grandmother died of colon cancer. And so Brashawn said, I'm a cancer survivor. And she said, what, really? She said, yeah, I was stage 4, given 3 months to live. And now she's here 13 years later. When I tell y'all God is good, I'm not even joking. I'm not even playing. I was like, wow. Honey, now that is something you need to be talking about. That is truly a blessing. So Rashawn said, she just lives her life for the now. She's used to, she used to care about what people thought, but now she don't give up. She don't give up. Okay. She could care less what they say. So Eboni wasn't really feeling Brashawn because of her all lives matter stance. And she feels like she was being undermined. I don't think she was undermining you. I really think she just does not know. I think she's just speaking her speech and saying whatever she thinks sounds good. And she sounds really silly. Child. So Ramona was like, well, I'm going to get on out of here because Ramona could not take the heat any longer. Child, Brashawn stayed behind. I was like, lady, didn't you come with Ramona? Honey, you and your sparkly britches, y'all need to be gone as well. Child, Brashawn said, I'm staying, honey. So Brashawn starts talking about small penises and brought the girls back. Honey, Brashawn brought them all the way back to what they love to do. So then Leah and Eboni have lunch and they talk about her and the ladies and how the ladies are afraid to get it wrong, right? Leah said, you do lay it on thick. Then she tells Eboni to be aware of her power because she could be a bit intimidating. Honey, nothing wrong with a strong black woman. Sometimes we got to just put it in their face. Now, I didn't really like the use of the, intimidate. I didn't really like that. Okay, because me explaining to you what I've been through or where I've come from or the things that my people face, that should not be intimidating to you. Because when y'all are telling us all about you, we're not intimidated. We have to listen. We have to absorb. So, girl, whatever. Miss me with that part. So Eboni was like, I received that. But, I make no apologies for who I am. She's like, yeah, you're a lot. She was like, and so are they. I know that's right. So then Leah said, well, I want you to have fun. Eboni said, yeah, I shouldn't feel like I'm on payroll to teach the white women of America. But if not me, then who? I don't know who, Eboni, but I just want you to relax, honey, and be in the space. Okay, I want you to actually be present in the moment. So then Leah said, well, she needs to get to know them. This is what she's saying in the confessional. By being their friend, she could teach them something. And I mean, I got to agree with that. By just, hanging out and showing them, they may learn better hands-on and through experience, like I said previously. So in the next scene, Leah's daughter is trying to pick a school. Honey, I just fast forwarded right on through that because I was like, girl, I really don't care. Luann's daughter comes over and she isn't drinking anymore. And so Luann knows how the effects that her drinking had on the kids, right? So she apologizes to her daughter and then they share a little moment. Over on the other side, Eboni comes to visit Ramona. Child, this is the WWE SmackDown, honey. Eboni brings up the fact that there will be a black female vice president. Of course, Ramona cannot take that, honey. She did not want to talk about anything that makes her uncomfortable, especially politics. Honey, y'all remember a few seasons back? I know y'all remember. So Ramona's like, I don't want to talk about politics because, that really makes her uncomfortable. So she had Ramona hiding in her room, honey, talking to her dog. She's like, yeah, I really don't understand why she's doing this. And I'm like, why are you sitting in this room talking to your puppy, honey? Eboni had her shooketh, okay? So Eboni said, I'm just trying to see what her values are because if we can align, then we could truly be friends, right? Because she's really trying to get to know Ramona. And I'm like, child, good luck, honey, because Ramona is not about to talk about the hard subjects. She does not want to talk about those things. So Ramona is still in hiding, but then she emerges deflecting and speaking about her butterfly necklace. Girl, what? So Eboni said, look, I really want to be friends. I like you. I don't want to have to talk about politics. I've had a really hard week. This is what Ramona is saying. Oh, poor Ramona. So then Eboni said, Ramona, that's your white women fragility again. I have a question right here. Do you think if the roles were reversed and Ramona was saying to Eboni, this is your black power showing again, or this is you trying to teach us about you being black showing again, do you think people would be receptive to that? Because I was wondering in that moment as she was speaking to Ramona, if the roles were reversed, how people would feel about it. I just want to hear your thoughts. So Ramona seemed to know, what it meant this time. Okay, because last time she had no idea what white fragility actually meant. Eboni, Ramona is not going to ever come to terms with someone calling her on her ish. She's done this for years. She's afraid to say the wrong thing so she doesn't get canceled. So, I mean, please, just it's a lost cause. Eboni is like, I like you and I want to be friends. Well, Ramona likes the kind of friends that get drunk and sleep with the same men. Honey, I'm just saying. So Ramona said, well, I don't want to speak race, religion, or creed. Well, I'm sorry. Okay, now this is where I have to disagree. I understand you don't want to speak about it, but it's real. We can't hide from the fact that we are black. So the fact that you don't want to talk about it and it makes you feel uncomfortable is not our problem. Okay, so she's not going to be able to hide who she is. And she so eloquently stated that. She said, well, that's my life. Do you have a closet for me to hang up my blackness? I'm like, I know that's right. So then she says, no, I don't want to talk about that, but I do want to talk about E.J. Walker, who was the first black female millionaire. And she goes, you mean C.J. Walker? Yeah, whatever. No, honey, not whatever. Okay, when you're speaking about your race, you get the name correct. So we would appreciate the same respect. Ramona, you starting to piss me off, girl. Honey, it's not whatever. Okay, put some respect on Madam C.J. Walker. So Eboni rattles her. So she tries to leave her own house. Girl, where are you going? You live here. She's like, instead of you just admiring me for knowing who the black millionaire was, and she was a black chick. I didn't like the word chick. I didn't like that. I'm not going to admire you for knowing something you should have known. Okay. Yes, she was an African American, a black female millionaire, a woman, not a chick, honey, a black woman. Instead of correcting me, no, honey, you needed to be corrected. So Eboni said, Also, I want to bring up the fact that Sonia seemed to be a little bit upset about you posting that picture of me and you. So Ramona said she's jealous and she's resentful. And so Eboni said, now look who's preaching. So then they have a little moment, honey. And she was like, look, I'm not the big bad wolf. You don't have to be afraid of me. I was just simply correcting you because I know you're going to tell your friends. And child, Eboni and her made up and Ramona leaned all over child. And so now she's feeling better because Eboni is not talking to her about all things black and all things politics. So in essence, Eboni, you actually gave into Ramona because sometimes she needs to be pushed. And she was like, the ladies don't even like the way that you talk like that. And so then we see a scene where there's Sonia, there's Luann, and there's Ramona, and they're talking about Eboni. And I was surprised to see Sonia piping up in this scene, but apparently Sonia is ready for Eboni to let her hair down. And I'm ready for y'all to move forward and just have some fun together. Okay, now, like I said, if the opportunity presents itself and race comes up and there's a teachable moment, please, Eboni, by all means. But do not hold the weight on your shoulders like that. Child, be in the moment. And that was the end of the episode. Y'all don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me exactly how you felt about this episode. Were there any triggers? Was there something that stood out to you? Let me know in the comment section. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.